Historically significant things that happened on May 25th. May 25th serves as a vibrant crossroads in global history, capturing a unique mix of cosmic ambition, constitutional foundations, and legendary pop culture milestones. On this day in 1961, President John F. Kennedy ignited the space race with his historic address to Congress, committing the United States to landing a man on the moon before the decade's end. This date also marks the 1787 gathering of delegates in Philadelphia to kick off the Constitutional Convention, structurally paving the way for modern American governance. Centuries later, the day transformed entertainment history twice over. First in 1878 with the London premiere of Gilbert and Sullivan's satirical comic opera HMS Pinafore, and again in 1977 when George Lucas's Star Wars burst onto theater screens, altering the global cultural landscape forever. Let us look at the significant historical events of May 25th, categorized by cultural, educational, financial, physical, mental, relational health, political, professional, social, spiritual, and scientific and technological points of view. Historically significant things that happened on May 25th. From cultural point of view, 1878, opening of HMS Pinafore. The comic opera by Gilbert and Sullivan premiered at the Opera Comique in London, becoming a massive international sensation and altering the landscape of musical theater. 1977, release of Star Wars. George Lucas's sci-fi epic Star Wars, later subtitled Episode 4, A New Hope, opened in theaters, shattering box office records, revolutionizing special effects, and launching a global cultural phenomenon. 1979, release of Alien. Ridley Scott's landmark sci-fi horror film Alien, starring Sigourney Weaver, premiered in theaters and redefined the aesthetic and structural tropes of both genres. 1983, release of Return of the Jedi. Continuing a pattern of monumental movie premieres on this date, the third installment of the original Star Wars trilogy was released to eager audiences worldwide. 2007, passing of Charles Nelson Riley. The Tony Award-winning actor, director, and beloved television personality, known for his frequent appearances on Match Game, passed away at the age of 76. Historically significant things that happened on May 25th. From educational point of view, 1925, the Scopes trial indictment. John T. Scopes was formally indicted in Tennessee for teaching Charles Darwin's theory of evolution in a public school, setting the stage for a historic legal battle over academic freedom and science education. 1935, Jesse Owens' greatest 45 minutes in sport. Competing for Ohio State University at the Big Ten Championships, track legend Jesse Owens set 3 world records and equaled a 4th in less than an hour, an achievement that remains a legendary milestone in collegiate athletic history. 2005, launch of the Khan Academy. Educator Salman Khan began uploading math tutorials to YouTube for his cousins, an action that organically led to the founding of Khan Academy and revolutionized free, accessible online education worldwide. Historically significant things that happened on May 25th. From financial point of view, 1787, opening of the Constitutional Convention. A quorum of delegates gathered in Philadelphia to revise the Articles of Confederation, taxation, and a unified monetary system. 1920, the launch of the Dow Jones Dividend Index. Highlighting developments in market tracking, specialized tracking systems for corporate dividends began providing deeper statistical insights into stock market health and investment yields. 1999, Release of the Cox Report. The U.S. House of Representatives released a damning public report detailing decades of systematic Chinese espionage against corporate and military entities, leading to major adjustments in international trade security and technology transfer penalties. Historically significant things that happened on May 25th, from physical, mental, relational health point of view. 1953, first public television station founded. KUHT in Houston, Texas, began broadcasting as the first non-commercial educational television station in the United States, breaking ground for public physical and mental health educational programming. 1979, disappearance of Eton Patz. 6-year-old Eton Patz disappeared on his way to his school bus stop in New York City, a tragedy that fundamentally altered parenting styles and childhood freedom, eventually triggering the creation of National Missing Children's Day on this date. 2020, killing of George Floyd. The tragic death of George Floyd during an arrest in Minneapolis sparked a profound global mental and emotional reckoning, prompting deep discussions on systemic racism, trauma, and societal health. Historically significant things that happened on May 25th, from political point of view. 1810. The May Revolution wins. Citizens in Buenos Aires ousted the Spanish viceroy Baltasar Hidalgo de Cisneros and established the Primera Junta, marking the first successful regional step toward Argentine independence. 1865. Mobile magazine explosion. An ordnance depot exploded in Mobile, Alabama, shortly after the end of the American Civil War, killing an estimated 300 people and leveling an entire industrial sector of the city. 1946. Independence of Jordan. The Parliament of Transjordan ratified the Treaty of London, formally bringing the British Mandate to an end and declaring Abdullah I as the king of the newly independent Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. 1963. Founding of the Organization of African Unity, OAU. Representatives from 32 African nations met in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to establish the OAU, now the African Union, a historic political milestone aimed at safeguarding sovereignty and ending colonialism across the continent. 1997. Military coup in Sierra Leone. Major Johnny Paul Karoma overthrew the democratically elected government of President Ahmad Tejan Kaba, plunging the nation into political chaos during its brutal civil war. Historically significant things that happened on May 25th. From professional point of view. 1844. First commercial news telegram. Just one day after Samuel Morse sent his famous ceremonial message, the Baltimore Patriot newspaper printed the first commercial news dispatch transmitted via electric telegraph, signaling a radical paradigm shift for the professional journalism and news-gathering industries. 1950, the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel opens. The longest continuous underwater vehicular tunnel in North America opened to traffic, linking Brooklyn to Manhattan and marking a major professional achievement for urban planners and structural engineers. Historically significant things that happened on May 25th. From social point of view, 1932, the Bonus Army arrives. The first contingent of approximately 15,000 World War I veterans, known as the Bonus Army, arrived in Washington, D.C. to camp out and peacefully demand the early cash redemption of their service certificates during the Great Depression. 1986, Hands Across America. In a massive, coordinated social awareness event, approximately 5.5 million people held hands in a continuous human chain across the United States for 15 minutes to raise funds and local awareness for fighting hunger and homelessness. Historically significant things that happened on May 25th. From spiritual point of view, 1521, the Edict of Worms issued. Emperor Charles V issued a formal imperial decree declaring religious reformer Martin Luther an outlaw and a heretic, banning his writings, and making it a crime for anyone to offer him food or shelter. 1659. Resignation of Richard Cromwell. The son of Oliver Cromwell resigned his political post as Lord Protector of England, a shift that directly paved the way for the restoration of the monarchy and structurally altered the religious and ecclesiastical authority of the Church of England. Historically significant things that happened on May 25th, from scientific and technological points of view. 1953. First U.S. nuclear artillery test. The United States military successfully detonated an artillery-fired nuclear projectile at the Nevada test site, marking a chilling technological advancement in Cold War tactical weapons capabilities. 1961. JFK's moonshot speech. In a historic address before a joint session of Congress, U.S. President John F. Kennedy set a bold scientific target for the nation, committing to landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to Earth before the decade was out. 1973. Launch of Skylab 2. Astronauts Charles Conrad, Joseph Kerwin, and Paul Weitz launched aboard a Saturn IB rocket to rendezvous with the damaged Skylab space station, executing critical repairs that saved America's first orbital laboratory. 2008. Phoenix spacecraft lands on Mars. NASA's Phoenix spacecraft successfully touched down in the northern polar region of Mars, initiating a highly productive surface science mission that confirmed the presence of subterranean water ice. Hi viewers, family, and friends. How did you like the content of this video? Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Please write in the comments your name and the place you are watching from. Since our viewing family is spread all over the world, it will be nice to know which city and the country you are watching from, so I can say hello to you. Science and technology. Reading and listening to the historical accomplishments on this date of those who have gone before us, I, as a professional engineer with interest in structural engineering, energy-efficient buildings, ICF construction, and as Google Docs expert with interest in spreadsheet-based solutions, draw inspiration to ask of myself the million-dollar question. What would I accomplish today? Think about the Japanese practice of Kaizen. Let me know in the comments. What would you accomplish today? Your subscribing to the channel inspires me to post more such videos. Thanks for your patronage. See you in the next video. Sincerely, Yogi on it.